What's up, guys? This is Cool Fred here. Today we're going to talk about transmission fluid services, servicing your transmission. I recently just got the X5 back. The client asked me, well, we talked maybe, I guess, a couple weeks ago. He's had the vehicle for a few weeks now, but he called me, and from time to time when he talks and asks questions, he asked about, like, is it easy to check the transmission fluid, or what do you know what do I think about checking the transmission fluid? Because he was kind of getting concerned about the level and I guess the condition of the fluid. And basically, I stated on these vehicles, you have to service them a certain way, like basically perform a procedure, let it get warm within a certain temperature, then you can check the transmission fluid level. But he's around, I believe he's somewhere around 118,000 to 120,000 miles on there. So I was saying the best thing to do is just to perform a transmission fluid service. So basically, that's what I recommended. And also, I have one more other thing that I'm gonna talk about that I gotta do to it too. But pretty much right here we have a transmission service kit. This kit is from FCP Euro. You get the BMW Lifeguard 8 transmission fluid. Now they've kind of renamed it a little bit, rebranded the bottle. It's pretty much the same fluid. Well, it is the same fluid. It just it used to say ZF Lifeguard 8. Now it says Lifeguard 8 ATF. And that's that. Now this is the transmission pan gasket service. They call this a service kit. So you get 7 liters. They instead of quarts, they call these liters. So you get 7 liters of transmission fluid. Now this transmission fluid is specially formulated for the ZF 8 HP transmission that's in there. And I believe this is the ZF HP 45, which is typically on some of the 6-cylinder models. And then there is, I believe, the ZF HP 50 that are on like the V8 models. So I'm gonna get this out, and I'm gonna continue talking about this service kit. All right, so in this service kit here, they give you get all your, I believe it's 13 bolts, and you get a fill plug with a new seal on there. It's a little hard to see through the plastic, but it's like a little dang O-ring seal. And this this right here is the transmission filter that's integrated into your trans pan. And that's the main reason you want to change the fluid pan, is because it comes with the filter. Now this is a manufacturer branded ZF transmission pan, and that's actually the company. I think that's Hens. That's actually the filter that's in here. I was trying to say that name before in the previous video, so if y'all watched that, y'all when I was talking about parts that we got for the E70 and how they make oil filters for the V8 engines. But I'm assuming that's the filter that ZF uses for this transmission pan. I talked a lot before about the manufacturer part. So I mean, this right here is actually from the manufacturer who makes the transmission. So what better part to select than the ZF brand? So got that. Now if you were to purchase the fluid at the dealership, you would get this right here, which is they branded as the ATF 3 Plus transmission fluid. But this fluid here cost possibly twice as much as one of these right here. So I had this from a previous project that I did. Had some extra laying around. So speaking of your transmission service and when you should do it, there seems to be a little bit of things that kind of, I guess, a little bit of missed messages or contradictions. So I've done a little research, and there are several different things out there. Most manufacturers recommend, they state that the fluid is lifetime fluid, and they guarantee it pretty much for, or they say the fluid is good for up to 100,000 miles. All right, so real quick, because I don't want to make this segment super long, because I can go on and on about talking about just the quality of the ZF 8 HP transmission. I am a fan of the transmission. That's one reason I purchased my truck that has the ZF 8-speed in there. But like I spoke about earlier, they put this transmission in. I really wouldn't say they put, but manufacturers, I believe they saw how good it was and how effectively, or the performance that it had in the BMWs, and also the fuel economy and the performance that they had. And they got with ZF so they can make it for their vehicles too. Chrysler, Ram, and Dodge used them, like pretty much in like the 300s, the Chargers, and pretty much a lot of their rear-wheel drive vehicles. Audi has used them for some years. Jaguar and Land Rover has used this transmission, and even in the Hyundai Genesis. And basically, this transmission has been adapted to work with hybrid vehicles and things like that. And another, I guess, factor or fun factor is they haven't really seen maybe the need or the possibility to, you know, make a 10-speed gearbox or a 12-speed gearbox like maybe Ford and GM. So basically, the 8-speed is still ticking for the ZF, and everybody likes it, and it's acceptable performance, and they're still using it to this day. So without further ado, I guess we're gonna close this segment out about me talking about this transmission. So I'm gonna do a transmission service on the E70, and hopefully it's kind of cold outside, so I probably won't be doing this on the ground. So I'm probably gonna have to take this into work to knock it out. But I'll try to get some footage of it and go through a procedure of showing you guys how to properly do a transmission service on this. So for that, we will need, or you will need, a scanner that can read your transmission fluid temperature, and you would need a fluid pump, either a mechanical one or some type of hydraulic one. I have an electric one that I can run off my jump box and fill up, and basically I'll probably you want to let it cool down definitely before you start dealing with the transmission fluid, because you want to be able to properly fill it. So they have a specific range. I think it's between 42 and 50 degrees Celsius, but I'll inspect that and try to get some accurate specs to let you guys know. All right, well, until we do that transmission service, this is going to wrap this up. All right, I'm back in action on Project E70 here, about to change this transmission fluid and pan. First thing I'm gonna do is crack this fill plug loose. That way I don't run into a situation where I can't put transmission fluid in there. And then I'm gonna crack this right here and drain it into this pan right here. All right, I got this thing cracked. So I need to do some more wrenching on that. It's been a minute since I've been with these in the E70. There goes fluid. Another thing I just realized that this one right here, you got to kind of come up with some tricks to get to them last 3 bolts. You got to get a nice little slim profile T40 bit to get up in there, or else you got to drop that cross member for that transfer case. But I got a little something to get that bad boy up out of there. All right, before I started, a little glare from my light there. Before I got started, what I did was I went on and scanned the car so I can check the transmission fluid temp. It's off of there now, but it was at 41 degrees. But there is a, right here on the original transmission pan, there were some numbers there. So it basically tell you what temperature to fill it, between 40 degrees and 50 degrees C, and between, I believe that's 104 degrees to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So they give you the information. But I don't believe that sticker comes on the new pan. Now everybody's probably interested in finding out how I got them 3 screws loose in the back to the transmission pan. I would say that's a secret, but I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Let's see, got this bad boy right here. So if you can find a wrench like this, I believe this comes in a Matco set. A little small wrench like this, that's nice and compact. You can stick that in there and get them 3 bolts or screws, torque screws, T40s. And then what I'm gonna attempt to do is I got this little ball torque socket, so I'm trying to stick that up in there and see if I can work them out. So I'm gonna do that real quick, get them 3 out, then I'm gonna break the rest of them loose and get those out and drain the rest of that fluid. All right, there we go. Now this right here comes with new screws. My flashlight's kind of throwing off the image there, and plus it's a fluorescent light up above me, so that's kind of got the glare here. But yeah, we got all steel screws. Now I was looking through the repair instructions. There's some of these got aluminum screws, but this one particular one has steel screws in there. I know, man. I'm used to seeing a little fluid drip out of there. Now this one, because it's sitting on this ledge over here, it can only go so far. So I'm just gonna have to end up taking these last 2 screws out and letting it dry. Now, it's probably a situation that you would run into if you're doing a X5 or X6, E70, E71, probably a F15, F16. That's the transmission pan there. That's the filter. So the job of that filter is to catch all the dirt, debris, clutch material, and stuff like that. Let's see here. There's a little bit of metal flakes in there, but nothing too bad. So, the fluid did need to be changed. So that's the condition of the fluid. And like I said, it's a few little metal flakes, but that's pretty much normal. You're gonna have a little bit of clutch material. But, you know, the fluid is bad. It doesn't. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but it's aged, dark in color. It does need to be changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the surface over there cleaned up. The surface right here, I'm gonna wipe this down and get ready to put the new pan up and get it torqued to spec, and then start putting the fluid in. Alright, this right here is a comparison to the factory on the right to the ZF pan on the left. They kind of looked a little different at first. I had to kind of look at them a little bit hard and kind of put them on top of the other, because this one right here looked like for a second it was a tad bit longer, but they're in fact indeed the same size and everything like that. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this bad boy installed. All right, I got the new trans pan installed, so I got it installed in place. Pretty much what I like to do, I'll take my torque sequence diagram. I like to just tape it up so I know which screws to hit and tighten up. So I did that. So I've already snugged it down. I'm just gonna kind of like snug it down again, and then I'm gonna use my torque wrench and go in order. The torque spec for this one is 10 Newton meters. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that snugged down, and then I'm gonna check to make sure this drain plug is torqued. I believe that's 8 Newton meters for the drain plug, and I'm gonna start filling it up. All right, I'm ready to fill this transmission. So this is my little contraption I got for that. Just got my jump box. I got like a little electric pump. This is the consistency of this fluid right here. It's real lightweight. Some people even say it's almost as light as water. They think it's the consistency of it, because it's not real. It's oily, but it don't seem like it's that like heavyweight. So that's why you want to use the correct fluid, because it's specially formulated for this particular transmission. I'm just gonna let that run up in there until it overflow. Alrighty, it just started trickling out there. So now I just gotta run it and get it up to operating temperature. But this one seemed to have taken a lot. I put like I want to say like 4.5 liters. Actually, I put 5 bottles in, but it's just a little bit, maybe probably about half a liter in there. So I say about 4.5 liters to get started. And I'm about to start it up, let it run, and check my scanner, and just do the final top off. When I take this hose out, well, I was thinking a little bit more than that was going to come out. But, let's see here. All right, I got this thing running, and I'm checking my transmission temperature with the scanner. So it just hit 41 degrees. So the window is between 40 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my fluid in there. And go from there. All right, so with the kit, you get a new fuel plug. So you get a new transmission fuel plug. has a new O-ring on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up with the pump before it gets too hot. Alright guys, so I got it topped off. It just started trickling out. So I'm gonna shut it off and kick this. I'm gonna put the new fuel plug in there real quick and tighten it up, and it's good to go. Alright, so I got everything back together up under here, got it all buttoned up. Got my they call it the I guess it's the rock guard or whatever. Got that back on there. So I'm gonna lay it down and get ready to reset the adaptations. All right, last thing I'm gonna go ahead and do real quick is reset the adaptations in my scanner. So let me see. I can go where it says display and reset the values. It'll show you what my current values are. Normally when we display the values, we're just reading them out, trying to see pretty much what they are. And at the dealership, pretty much we would have to send these to the technical department, and they would be able to indicate whether the transmission has a problem or not. But basically, when I reset it, all those are going to go to 0. So I'll go F1. Pretty much resetting the adaptations. What that does is I know it works awesomely on the HP6, which is a 6-speed ZF transmission. I've had to repair a couple of those and actually save a couple of them. It's just the transpan and the Megatronic sealing sleeve. They would start leaking so bad that most of all the fluid came out of the car. No forward, no drive, no reverse, no nothing. So changing the transpan and fluid in the Megatronic sealing sleeve and resetting the adaptations. Now, sometimes when you reset the adaptations, it will drive a little rough and shift a little rough at times, but they kind of smooth out. But on the 8 speeds, they seem to be, pretty smooth. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'm just gonna drive it on to the house. All right, I'm back. I'm almost to the house actually, but I'm just seeing how this thing is shifting. I'm also kind of just checking the quality of my new camera here to see what kind of it is nighttime, and sometimes without a little bit of light, these hello. I don't know who that is. But as we can see here, that the transmission shifted pretty good. So yeah, nice smooth shifts, nice and crisp. So yeah, it's nighttime. So I mean, see, I'm just looking at the screen on the camera, but it seems. I'm just driving through my neighborhood, almost home. But yeah, the transmission's been shifting nice and good. Nice, smooth, crisp shifts. I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for checking out another episode of Cool Fred's Beamer Tech. Please like the content, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time.